She got the little bitty babies all over the world. She spread aloha in the message to the baby boys and girls. But the colonists and the terrorists, they do their own thing. Hurry up, global warming, maybe they no can swim. Woo-hoo. She got the
we want people to know that we are not free. And how we know we are not free is every time we try to talk about ourselves and about our history, somebody's trying to make us shut up, to shut us down. And sometimes they laugh at us. But I don't know who said this, but first they laugh at us, right? No, wait, back up. First they ignore us, and then they laugh at us, and then they fight us, and then we win. So basically that's kind of where we are. People have ignored us forever. Now they're kind of laughing at us. We had that experience the other night with the cops in Waikiki as they were bicycling by, like 20 at a crack, laughing at us because we were holding signs, because we were protesting, because there was a hale up there and people were talking about Kanawai Mamalahoi and the law of the splintered paddle and what that meant in ancient history and what that meant in the state of Hawaii's constitution and what that's supposed to mean for the state of Hawaii and the city and county police department, right? Nobody knows, nobody cares. And if you try to call attention to the fact that there's a law in the books, everybody says weird things like, well, it's up to us to handle at our own discretion. In other words, the law doesn't mean shit. And it depends on who has a gun. So for us, because we don't have any guns, we pay attention and we move along before we get beaten or fined or arrested or this or that. There's no freedom for Hawaiians who are talking about Hawaiian history. The other sign that we had on the road was APEC does not equal aloha. And I think everybody understands what that means. Aloha to us is like sacred word. This is part of our language. We didn't make it up so it could go in a dictionary for tourists. It's not like mahalo. Aloha and mahalo, if you ask anybody in Hawaii, they know those two words. But they don't know what any of it means. So if somebody says aloha to you, implied, it's a kind of caring, loving relationship, acceptance of you into our house as part of our family. So when I say aloha to somebody, I want to be able to say it. But I'm not going to say it to people coming in from APEC because number one, they don't know, and number two, they don't care. They didn't come here to exercise aloha. They actually came here to develop an economic plan that is going to kill us all eventually because their plan is a top-down plan that doesn't really require them to consult people who live in a particular place. So you might say they're kind of anti-self-determination, anti-everything that's not profit. So on the one hand, you have a system that is working to gain power and money for a very small group, what the Occupy Wall Street guys are calling the 1%. And on the other hand, the 99%, which is like most of us. We don't have any say. I'm not a rich person, I don't own a house. If I did, I'd be worrying about how I could pay my mortgage. Seriously. So the people who are out of work, the people who are threatened with being out of work are in dire circumstances if they owe money on their house. Who's going to pay for that? So what we're saying is that APEC cannot come here with the blessing of the state of Hawaii or with the blessing of the United States and expect to be treated kindly and with aloha by the rest of us because we didn't invite them. If anything, we're sort of like a backdrop. The whole state of Hawaii, the whole Hawaiian fake state of Hawaii has become a backdrop for somebody else's business negotiation. And we don't have anything to say about it. So what we're doing out on the road is we're trying to say something. And it might seem silly to some people because what we say is so little, but it's the best that we can do. And the idea of going throughout this process of having APEC here in our homeland and not saying anything is the worst thing that can happen. So nothing will change, I'm sure, but we got to get our pokes in. We have to make our statement. And if they don't like it, tough shit, basically, because that is our statement. And then there were a lot of people out there today that I'd never met before, and it was really good to see them, and I've been talking forever. And let's see what Kat has to say.
Hi, aloha, Kat.
Aloha.
I value your information and knowledge May you please enlighten us? What is your feeling with APEC, and please share?
Well, it's definitely top down. It is the 1%, and the meetings are all secret. The people and one of the things that APEC is pushing, actually, and that Obama is pushing, is called the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And this is an agreement, another trade agreement, and they say they need to push this because the Doha agreement is going to expire, so they need this Trans-Pacific Partnership. And interestingly, the people in Aotearoa, 800 individuals and organizations have sent a letter to their prime minister to say, hey, you can't sign anything without free, prior, and informed consent of the people. APEC is not about the people, which is why they call it 21 economies are here. And we've been trying to figure out, how does an economy buy an airline ticket? It's ridiculous. They're people, we think, except that they don't even listen to their own people. Every place that APEC has been since 1989, they have run into massive protests. Just in Korea, 100,000 people protesting in South Korea. So it's really interesting that we keep hearing from the fake state of Hawaii and the federal government that this is a great thing for the people, it's a great thing for the business. I challenge the government to ask the shop owners in Waikiki how great APEC has been for them. They are hurting. Their businesses are failing because all these meetings, these secret meetings, are in hotels, so everybody is encapsulated in the hotel instead of out in the community actually supporting business. So it's sort of ironic that APEC is here to really help business, and they've almost shut down several businesses in Waikiki. So I need to ask the government, what is this about? And why weren't the people actually included in discussions?
They also help with the homeless problem, too.
Well, they don't do sweeps. They remove people, but they don't sweep people. We've been told by Mayor Carlisle. No homeless have been swept. They've only been removed.
By force.
Well, they can't, the vocabulary requires them to not say sweeps because you only sweep trash. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of frame your action in a way that's more positive sounding, so that you don't sweep them out, you have them removed.
Oh, so that's why Mayor Carlisle said, oh, it's kind of like the rats in Chinatown?
Yes, but did he say that off the record? Well, never mind.
No, he said it on the record. And it was in Civil B.
It's really tells you something
like
about no aloha, you know what I mean? So that idea of looking at homeless people as kind of a blight, as opposed to people who may actually need our help, because how many of us are like a minute away, a week away, a month away from being homeless? A paycheck, for sure. So what we're talking about is a kind of attitude that comes in. Yeah, not to point finger at everybody, but when we talk about what is haole, what we're talking about is how people behave, not the color of their skin, uncaring, unfriendly, and they put you down in a set. So, yeah. Sorry.
So it's about time that the people...
All right, we need to stop because they're coming.
I love the music. I love the music. The music is me. The music is you. Music can be something we do. Music is good and music is right, and music can stand strong right through the night, and music can hold you, music can keep you safe from harm in her beautiful arms. Music is you, the thing we do.